With Texas Tech football losing on Saturday, what's in store for the Red Raiders as they get ready to play Texas? Can Tech basketball keep up their Coach Beard defense as they head to Vegas? After being eliminated from the tournament, what's next for Coach Stone and Tech soccer? And who will be the 2019 Heisman Trophy winner? Find out next. MCTV Sports 101 starts now. Hey there, sports fans, and welcome to MCTV Sports 101. I'm Austin Seat.
And I'm Ryan Heller. Texas Tech football went into the game on Saturday hoping to keep their hopes of going to a bowl game alive. That, however, was not reality as Kansas State defeated the Red Raiders 30-27. Even with a touchdown pass to R.J. Turner with just 4 minutes left in the game, it was not enough as the Wildcats drained the clock and won the game. They now have a record of 4-7 and will head to Austin, Texas on Friday to take on the Texas Longhorns. Also, what do you think?
Well, it's disappointing, my friend, because my family who are alumni here, they had box tickets, so they couldn't come this week, so I was able to watch them from the box. And from up there, it was probably just as disappointing as it was for the student section. I mean, Jet Duffy he 28 for 49. That's not a little over 50, maybe a little under 50%.
Still over 330 yards, but it was not enough.
2 touchdowns. But I think he also had 2 interceptions on the day.
So he cancels it out.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it depends on if they scored or not. Sorry if I hit my mic there. I apologize to all you headphone users out there. But back to the story at hand. As for what's next for Texas Tech, I think it goes to what every Tex fan has been saying for the past, 20-odd years. If you beat Texas, I don't think we care.
Pretty much.
I mean, Texas is probably our biggest rivals ever since A&M left to go to the ACC in 2012.
SEC.
SEC, my apologies, in 2012. So yeah. I think if we beat Texas, I think we'll be all right. I don't think we're at 5-7. I don't think we'll go to a bowl game. But
I mean, like sometimes they make too many bowl games to where they will let 1, 2, maybe 3, 5-7 teams in there, but I just don't think if that is the case this year, I don't think we're going to be one of them.
Well, I think how many top 10 teams are like 9-1, and then the top 3 that are undefeated, it'll be if we win against Texas, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough to watch and rough to listen. But I mean,
one thing they got to do for starters is they just need to be more
Texas.
Whoop Texas for starters. It's going to be an early game, but this time it's not going to be a Tech, so we could just wake up at 11 a.m. on the dot and watch it on TV. We don't care.
Yeah. Instead of having to wake up at 9:30, go tailgate pregame and then go to the stadium.
It's going to feel weird watching the game not be on Saturday, though. That's going to feel weird because all our games have been on Saturday.
I think everyone's going to be asleep from Thanksgiving.
Probably so.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, like you look at what they did. R.J. Turner, 141 yards and a touchdown. Thompson, 84 yards, rushing a touchdown. But still, I just...
Eric Izukama.
But to me, I think the problem was the refs and the officiating because if you look at the third quarter, I believe it was, the third quarter alone, there was a 14-point swing. When Duffy threw the pass to Ezekama, which we thought was a touchdown, it looked like a touchdown. Yeah. And then they say no good. But here's the thing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I may not be the biggest expert on college football, according to the NCAA committee, but with a close touchdown play, you're supposed to review it and only change it if there's confirmed, indisputable evidence. They didn't even review it. That's the thing. They didn't even review that play.
You're talking about the play where he throws it to the opposing.
Yeah, exactly. And Ezekama caught it in. Now, was it not a touchdown? Maybe, I don't know, but. Check, review, and the same thing.
Now before we get off on this, because I know you will, the thing about this particular play is that the refs originally they called it a touchdown, and then I think they conferred about it, and then they went in and reviewed it. They did go in and review it.
But I never heard the refs say that the play's under further review. I never heard that. I never heard the refs say that.
You were probably about to run out of the building because that happened. So
well, probably. But then also the Kansas State kickoff return for a touchdown. It looked like he stepped out of bounds around the 30-yard line, and they didn't review that either. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's a 14-point swing right there in and of itself. Okay. So I think that
we could. I would love to go on about Tech football. I think we all would. We'd all like to forget this loss, but
let's hear what you guys think in the comments section.
Agreed. But we have a show to continue, and I say we move on from this.
I agree.
Now for some positive news. Texas Tech basketball defeated Long Island yesterday 96-66. After a rough start and being down by 1 at the half, the Red Raiders showed their dominance as they pulled away and improved their record to 5-0. Over the Thanksgiving break, they will head over to Las Vegas, Nevada for the Continental Tire Las Vegas Invitational, where the Iowa Hawkeyes will be their first opponent. Ryan, what has impressed you about this squad so far, and what do they need to do to keep it up against Iowa?
Well, one thing I've liked is, because remember, we have only 3 returners from last year, 4 if you count Kevin McCullough, who came in early as an enrollee, had some injuries, and came in this year as a redshirt freshman.
Right.
If you count that, only 4 returning players.
With Davide Moretti being the big one.
The big one.
Coming back from that finals team.
Yeah, and the fact that we're playing so many freshmen, TJ Shannon, Russell Chiwa, Jamias Ramsey, the big one, and I believe we're playing 5 freshmen. So like.
But you also have those grad transfers. I think it's
exactly
TJ Holyfield.
TJ Holyfield and Chris Clark.
Chris Clark, yeah.
And even though they're grad transfer seniors, they're experienced people. They're still new to the team. So what I've liked so far is their resiliency. The freshmen have been able to show maturity. The seniors have been able to show their leadership, and I think it's been so far a good formula. And with
I think that's what Chris Beard is known for. He's able to bring in these grad transfers. I mean, look. I mean, here's like some. I mean, this is way early in the season, but listen to some of these. I mean, Moretti, 13. Him and Holyfield are averaging 13 points a game. Holyfield's actually leading in field goal percentages with 77, while Moretti's at 62. Jamias Ramsey, leader in the Big 12 in points with 19 points per game. Clark, who's I think leading Tech in rebounds with 7 rebounds and 5 assists per game.
I believe he's 3rd in the Big 12 in assists.
Third.
And what I've liked is that, for instance, and that was a big key in yesterday's game, because a lot of teams, good or bad, after that buzzer beater to give them a 1-point deficit at the half, would have been shaken a little bit, kept looking at the scoreboard, let it get to their head, but Chris Beers instilled that toughness, the mental toughness in the Red Raiders, and that showed.
Moretti, after that halftime, Moretti went in, did a layup to put Tech up by 1, and I think that's what jolted.
And then Jamias went off at 27 points.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which, by the way, he's living up to the hype.
Oh yeah, I truly believe he's living up to the hype.
And what I think that they need to do against Iowa is basically just keep up that toughness, keep playing Chris Beard defense, let Moretti, Ramsey, and Edwards do their thing. Let TJ Holyfield do what he does on the boards, and I think that they're going to be fine against Iowa.
I agree with that, and I mean the team they're averaging about 87 points a game, close to 88. I think they're shooting 50% field goals. Moretti, I think he leads the team in 3-point percentages, shooting about 60 from the 3. So
and 62% in field goal percentage.
Yeah, well, field goal percentages, and then 60 from the 3. So he's able to come in those clutch moments, like he did Sunday against Long Island. So
yeah,
I've been really impressed with this team, especially with them putting so many freshmen on there. But I think when they gave Beard that contract, I think they knew that they were going to be in good hands for years to come.
Yeah,
years to come.
Well, Texas Tech soccer went into Chapel Hill hoping to claim victory over Michigan. Sadly, they were unable to do that as they lost to the Wolverines 3-2. Tech went into the half tied at 1 thanks to Jane Lydiot with a header in the 23rd minute, but in the second half, Michigan outscored the Red Raiders 2-1, ending their season. Austin, what's your take on the game?
I think the first half was pretty normal for Tech. I think they got behind. They were forced to play from behind, but I think when they settled down and Lydiot eventually got in that score, I think they said, okay, we've got this. We calmed down, and then Michigan, and then I think her name's not Sarah,
Savannah Jones, I believe it was. I believe it was Savannah Jones.
Well, she scored the last.
Oh, okay,
she scored Tech's second goal, but I'm talking about from Wolverine, Danielle Wolf, who scored the back-to-back goals, and I think it was the 66th minute and the 83rd minute. Now, Tech, you got to give Tech credit where credit is due. They did score in that 88th minute, like shortly after Wolf scored the third goal. But I think with a minute left, even in soccer, I don't know if college does extra time, or stoppage time as it
doesn't look like they do because I've been to a couple of soccer games this year, both the regular season and the postseason against Pepperdine, and it doesn't look like they do.
Okay, so I think 83. second minute, they had about, minute and a half, 2 minutes left. And then normally in stoppage time, they'd give you an extra 1 to 6 minutes. Maybe even more, 7, depending on how many fouls. But I'll tell you this, brother, there were a lot of fouls committed by Texas Tech. They had 16 fouls.
That can't happen.
In the day. And now Michigan, you can't blame them. They had 8 fouls. They had half as many as we did. And I think that, the ejection, there may have been some ejections in that game.
I know there was a lot of yellow cards, but I don't recall
there
any
was
ejections.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellow cards from both teams.
Right.
So, but I mean, it's like you said, that the fouls cannot happen in a game like this where.
And also also another thing is it didn't look like that they were aggressive. When they have 19 shots on goal.
19 shots and 6 on goal.
Yeah, when they take 19 shots only to your 9, that means you're not being aggressive enough, and that means you're not. It doesn't mean. It means that they're just. Michigan outplayed them on that regard, and 6 shots on goal to Tech's 3. Now, Madison White did pretty good. She had 3 saves, and usually when that happens, your team has a good chance to win. Mm-hmm. But the problem is Michigan just kept piling on, and it was just too much, and Tech was not able to deliver the same amount of intensity
that they had
on the other goal
that they had been for the regular season.
Exactly.
So my question to you is. As we just heard the buzzer, we need to end this segment pretty quickly. So, last question: what do you think Tech needs to do moving forward?
I think they need to use this as momentum and use this as
a learning experience.
A learning experience, and use this for the recruiting. Let them know that hey, we were ranked 13th in the nation. We've consistently been. And
they can make it deep into the NCAA tournament.
We can make it deep into the tournament. We have a chance to win the Big 12 conference every single year.
You have a chance to go to the national tournament. I mean, Tech. Other than football, sadly, they're showing to where in every sports people not have a chance to win a conference championship and then make an appearance for a national championship.
Take Texas Tech track and field, for instance. They won a national championship last year.
Mm-hmm. Or take the cheer squad, pom squad, Tech basketball.
All of them, yeah.
Like all sports except for football. We know. Please comment section. Don't roast us. I can hear the keyboard warriors typing now. But anyway, moving on with the show. Well, with only 1 game left in the regular season for college football, many people are wondering who will win the Heisman Trophy, the college version of an MVP award. There are many great candidates such as Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts, but only one can win it. Ryan, who, in your opinion, do you think has the best chance to win the Heisman?
For me, you know what? As great as Joe Burrow has been, he's got over 4,000 yards passing, 41 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions. That's just absolutely incredible. But to me, there's only been one defensive player to win a Heisman Trophy, and that was Charles Woodson back in the nights when Peyton Manning felt that he should have won it. So I'm going to do my best Roger Goodell
impersonation. Who was it? It was Woodson, Peyton Manning, and somebody else.
And I'm gonna do my best Roger Goodell impersonation.
We're going to get roasted in the comment section for saying, why didn't you remember this guy?
To me, okay, let's see if I can do my best Roger Goodell impersonation. The winner of the 2019 Heisman Trophy goes to Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State. I think it's going to be him. I think he's going to be the second defensive player to win a Heisman because you look at what he's done. 16.5 sacks this year, 36 tackles for loss, 5 forced fumbles on this year, and also he shows up clutch. You look at what he did against Penn State, showed up and got a lot of third down tackles for loss, third down sacks, showed up when the team needed him the most. He's clutch, and I think that he's going to be the Heisman. How about you?
Well, my personal opinion, I would love Chase Young to win it. I think he has I think he's probably the first defensive player since, who was it?
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson actually won it. I'm talking about that linebacker from Notre Dame. Manti Te'o, I think.
Manti Te'o, I believe it was.
The dude from Hawaii. And now he lost it out to Johnny Manziel. But right now Chase Young is according to the most recent rankings, he's at 5th. He's in 5th. So I think he needs to. I think there's a lot he probably could do to get up into the top 3. But right now you've got Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Jonathan Taylor. My personal opinion, and it's going to depend on how the championship week goes with SEC, ACC, Big 12, all that. It's going to be down to Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow, and I think it's going to stay that way. I think Joe Burrow is going to win it, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to be second.
I think it's going to be Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I want Chase Young to win it. I really do. I'm tired of seeing quarterback, running back, receiver, quarterback, running back, quarterback, running back, quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. Like, you get my point.
Yeah.
Sorry for hitting you, but
Because I'm also tired of seeing an Oklahoma Sooner win the MVP. It's happened 2 years in a row.
Well, yeah.
The Heisman, and Baker, and then Murray. So, yeah, it would be nice to see a
Baker,
non-Sooner.
Murray, if Jalen Hurts wins, that's 3 in a row. Oklahoma will never let us live it down.
They'll never let anyone in the Big 12 let that down.
It's like, well, what have you done? Well, we had 3 Heisman winners. I'm like, okay, what, have you gone to a national championship? No. So.
But then Oklahoma didn't win it either, so haha. Well.
Football's the only team they have left. So.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I personally want more defensive players to win the Heisman. I hope that when people see Chase Young, they say, hey, I'm a defensive guy. I could possibly win this. And I really hope that it comes down to that. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially between the last game and then the playoff rankings, and then also to see who's going to win in the top 4. So it's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting.
Well, now it's time for Who You Got. And before we get into this, our records, I am under 500 at 9-10, and you are miraculously winning 13-6.
I just
How in the world has this happened?
I got hot last week. I don't know what else to tell you. I just got hot last week.
You've been lucky a couple times. Let's say that. I mean, the Seahawks, 49ers.
The Seahawks, the Texans were 2 lucky ones. But other than that, I think the rest is
Steelers, Dolphins.
The Dolphins stink. I'm going to say that's still.
They were up 13-0 at the half.
I mean.
And then came back and won, I think, 16-13 or something like that. The Steelers almost lost to the winless Bengals last week. Yesterday.
Okay, maybe it's half luck, half skill.
You think? Anyway, I'm not going to ram on too much longer about this. But to start off, we have the Rams versus the Ravens tonight on Monday Night Football. Ryan, who you got?
You know what? As much as I hate, as much as I need Cooper Kupp to do well for my fantasy team, because he was my steal of the draft to pick in the 9th round.
Same with me for Todd Gurley.
I hope he does well, but yet I'm still picking the Ravens. I think that they're just too powerful. Lamar Jackson is playing like a possible MVP candidate. He's the team's leading rusher, as well as having 19 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. So he's doing that, plus he's the leading rusher of the team. And also the Ravens are first in scoring, first in rush yards. They're second in total yards. And what I like is that they spread the field with their tight ends. Mm-hmm. You got Mark Andrews, Nick Boyle, Hayden Hurst.
John Harbaugh knows how to use his weapons very well.
He loves using them.
He's almost like a Navy SEAL when it comes to this stuff. He's able to precariously put them in places where they need to be. But I'm going to agree with you. I'm as much as I need Todd Gurley to do very, very well in my fantasy team, I'm also going with the Ravens. I think with Lamar Jackson, I think last week I think he just jumped himself in the front runner for the MVP. Past the halfway point of the season, I think.
I'd still pick Russell Wilson, but it's gotten closer.
It's between them two right now. But I think if they both keep playing like they're playing, it's going to be like that until one has a lackluster performance.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think with the way the Rams have been playing this past few weeks, I think ever since that loss to the Patriots in the last Super Bowl, they haven't been themselves. I think they acquired Ramsey from the Jaguars.
Ramsey, and it still hadn't been enough.
In my opinion, that's not something they needed. They didn't need another defensive guy. So
they didn't need that.
I mean, they also got what's his name?
Aaron Donald.
Matthews. So I think they needed more offense. I didn't think they needed defensive guys. So
yeah,
that's my opinion on that.
Well, up next we have the Philadelphia 76ers facing the Toronto Raptors this Tuesday. Austin, who you got?
Raptors.
Raptors, okay.
Yeah, I'm going with the Raptors on this one.
Okay.
76. I think when it comes to the playoff picture, it's going to be 70. At least in the East, it's Raptors, Bucks, Celtics, and 76ers. I think those are the top 4. Or did I say 5?
Because right now the 76ers are 5th in the East, the Raptors are 4th, so it's going to be a 4 versus 5 matchup, basically.
This is pretty much a 4. If the season ended right now, which I heard a rumor that they were trying to shorten the season.
Not by this much, but probably, I hear what, they're thinking about shortening it to what, 66 games, something like that?
Well, what's it at now, like 70?
82.
No wonder they're trying to rest players.
Especially the older ones.
We don't have time for that. So, but yeah, I think that this is a 4 versus 5 matchup. I think the Raptors are looking to go back to the NBA Finals, and I think that they have to beat they'll have to beat the 76ers, Celtics, and then who else did I say? I went brain dead for a second here.
It's all right, man. You
I know who's the Celtics, 76ers, and I knew
Bucks.
Bucks, thank
Bucks.
you. I'm like,
Which, by the
what's
way-
the one with the Greek freak on it?
Yeah.
Like,
We will get to the Bucks later, but to me, I got the 76ers. I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. I'm going with the 76ers. What I like about them is that, yes, what I like is that they're third.
they're good for once.
They're good, and plus also we got to show support for Zaire Smith, our former Red Raider alum. But also they're third in assists, which means that they share the ball. They're not too like. They're not too selfish with the ball like LeBron or Harden, but plus also Joel Embiid is playing like the all-star that he is, and I think that they are just going to be too much for the Raptors, but we will see.
Isn't Ben Simmons still on that team, or did
He is. Rumor is he made a 3-point shot. That's the rumor.
That's almost as rare as Shaquille O'Neal.
Because it's only happened once.
To be fair, he's 1 for 1 when it comes to that.
That's true.
So, well, moving on. Also on Tuesday, we have the final match day in Champions League with PSG going against Real Madrid. Ryan, who you got?
So I got Real Madrid. I think that what I like about them is, also they're showing that they're the hotter team right now. They've won or tied in their last 6 games. Which means they're on the right path. But also, they've shut out 5 of the last 6 teams they played. And also, in the game that they didn't shut them out, they only gave up 1 goal. It was a 3-1 game. So
They're playing hot right now, is what you're.
Against Real Sociedad. By the way, their last one was against As Legiones, 5-0, 1-0. They beat Elbar 4-0. Galatasaray 6-0. So I think that they're on the right track, and I think they're the hotter team, even though PSG is a little bit better. But I think that right now the momentum is toward Real Madrid.
Interesting discussion. Interesting point. I am disagreeing with, as College Game Day would say, not so fast, my friend. I'm going with PSG on this one because they're setting something in Champions League that I don't think anyone has done. Period. I could be wrong on this, but I don't think they've shut out all opponents in all the match days. I think the closest one was from Club Bruges, who had an opportunity for a penalty kick. I think late in the game that one of their guys missed. He ended up getting fined and dropped off their roster for a Belgian match that they had after that. So I don't know. I'll have to look at it and see if he ever got back on that team, or if he ever is playing for Club Brugge again. But I'm going with PSG. Mbappe, they're playing very well. They're playing like a complete team. They're playing strong, fast, confident. I got PSG on this one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Mbappe, the French dude. You might have a chance on that one. I forgot about him.
You always forget Mbappe.
The boy wonder. To finish it off, we have another NBA game. The Utah Jazz against the Milwaukee Bucks. Should be an easy one. Austin, who you got?
I'm going with the Greek Freak and the Bucks. I mean, come on, man. They're like one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference right now. They're selected, I think, for the number 1 or the number 2 seed in the NBA playoff picture if it were to end today. So I've got the Bucks winning this one. I don't think the Utah Jazz. I think ever since they lost Gordon Hayward to the Celtics, I think it's just been chaos for them.
I mean, like they have hope with Donovan Mitchell, but they need more than him. They need more than Mitchell and Gobert. They need better role.
I think only the Mavericks have been able to do it with just one guy, and that was Dirk Nowitzki when they won in 2011. But
yeah, but Dirk's Dirk. I mean, this one. This one, I think if we disagreed, we'd be fools. Got to go with the Bucks here. I mean, come on. Giannis is playing like the MVP of this year. Shouldn't have won last year. Still bitter about that. A lot of people are, but I will not get off topic. He should be MVP this year, probably. And
who
also,
won last year?
Greek Freak.
Oh, well, he did.
Over Harden.
Oh, that's why you're
NBA don't know nothing.
That's why.
NBA voters don't know nothing. Oh, okay. Anyway, I will not get off topic.
Hey, watch the sports. Me do sports broadcast in our normal segment in our normal show earlier today. I did a bit on the Houston versus Dallas game. You're gonna hate me for it. I know you are.
You know what?
I'm behind Luka all the way.
Well. This one should be easy because the Greek Freak is playing phenomenal. They're first in scoring, by the way, first in rebounds. They are third. And also I believe they're third in blocks or first in blocks, one or the other, and which I like, which means that shows defense, averaging 6 blocks a game as a team, at first in rebounds. Plus, also they are just hot. This whole month of November, they are 11-1. Just letting you know. And their only loss was to this Jazz team. Just letting you know, they are 11-1 in the month of November.
The only loss was to the Jazz team.
So they're going to look for revenge. They're going to come there with fire in their belly. They're going to come out. There's a word I'd say, but I'm not going to say it because we're on TV.
This is a family show.
Exactly. So they're going to come in. I'll say the word. They're going to come in steaming mad. How about that? They're going to come in really mad. They're going to want to really.
Fantastic.
They're going to want to flatten Utah.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got some good games slated for this week. I'm really looking forward to the match days for Champions League, and then also this Monday Night Football matchup. Also, did you see San Francisco last night?
Yes. Wow. Statement. #statement win.
Yes. We will get more. I think we have one more show left before the end of the fall semester, so we'll try to wrap up as much as we can. But for today, that is our show for this week's edition of MCTV Sports 101. Join us next week for the latest big-name stories in sports. I'm Austin Seat.
And I'm Ryan Heller. See you next time.
You're doing better.
I'm doing better.